Hello YouTube, Marielle here. As you can see, I'm back home. I just came back yesterday, and that was Monday, 23rd of January. And yeah, my wolf wasn't actually here, and I had a talk with my daughter this morning because obviously she's not going to school, and this is a new year, so I wanted to have a talk with her and ask her really what she wanted to do with her life and what she, what kind of plans does she have for herself and the kind of directions that she wished to take. And as you can imagine, it went as badly as you can possibly imagine. I mean, she just kept saying that she had everything under control, and she's doing exactly what I've always told her to do, take care of herself and go to college and all of those kind of things, and there's nothing wrong with what she's doing, and she wanted to go back to sleep, and I was bothering her and that kind of thing. But I had to insist, of course, and eventually, as usual, it always turns to what's happening. And she was really upset and saying, you haven't been around for months, and then you didn't even spend Christmas with us. She said I was a bad mother, and she was upset. And she also mentioned just how much my wolf, her father, has been so sad and missing me terribly, that all he wants to do is talk. All he wants to do is just make things better. And how horrible I've been. Yeah, all I could think of doing and saying after a while is just, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. And I love you. You have to know that you are loved and that I love you. That's all I could. After trying to just give little examples and tiny little bits and pieces of information here and there to just either jog our memory, or it's just such a waste of time, and it's so painful, and it truly feels like not only my back is against the wall, but my hands are tied too. There's nothing I can do. I'm at the situation and at the point that there is nothing I can say, there is nothing I can do, there is nothing I can prove, there is nothing I can show. He has played this game so well, that defending myself, trying to protect myself, trying to remove myself, trying to sidestep, trying to avoid problem, trying to do anything just makes me look bad. My daughter goes and insists that I've been away for months, which is not even true. I've been away from here since like the 18th or something like that of December, from the house. And we are the I came back on the 23rd. And before that, I've been here in the house but just staying in my bedroom, coming out just whenever he wasn't home. And she knows that. But still in her head, I am terrible for doing that. And all she kept saying, all you need to do is just talk to him. Why don't you just talk to him? You need to talk to him. And I'm just like, and I couldn't resist, but said to say to her, I have been trying to talk to your father, and she knows that. But because I've got no proof, I've got no videos, I've got no recording, I've got no taping. Because after my wolf came back, I spoke to him and I said to him, we need to communicate better. While I was trying to smooth things up, I was trying to keep, the atmosphere in the household as level as I possibly could. And also because at the time, even though I was trying to figure out whether I should just pack up my stuff and leave this place forever, until I made that decision, for me, I was still trying to keep things level around the house. So I had to pretend. So even though I knew exactly what was happening, and by then I hadn't actually found all the stuff that I found out from his computer, but I knew about the pathology. But I still sat him down and said, listen, we need to communicate better about the kids. An awful lot of things have happened. We need to be on the same page. If you have a problem with me, tell me what it is you want me to do. Tell me what you want from me. This is a conversation that I had with my wolf, and nothing came of it, because as usual, whenever I sit him down and try to have a conversation with him, all he does is just look blank, look straight at me, and do nothing and say nothing. So she's convinced that I've done nothing, and she's too young to even see that, to even realize that not having a conversation and me locking myself in my bedroom and means that there is something really, really wrong, beyond wrong. She can't even, make that leap. And even if she did, she'll refuse to face to what that could potentially mean. And this is a game he's already played before. Acting. I don't know whether I mentioned it before. I am somebody who likes to walk, and my children know that. I've been taking walks with my children almost their entire lives, always going on walks. I've always taken them with me on walks. And since my son has actually left and my daughter just no longer wants to come with me, so I go on walks alone. And after a few times, basically what started to happen is that I would come, on my way out, my husband would start looking at me really strangely, putting on this, this strange kind of facial expression, and then compliment me in how I was dressed. With my daughter being right next to him, saying things like, you look awfully nice for a walk. You see? And that's all he would say. That's all he said. And then whenever I'll come back, he would have this expression on his face like he was so sad. And it even got me at first, because the first time he did that, when I came back and I saw his face, his facial expression, I thought maybe something had happened. And it's only a lot later on that it dawned on me that he's actually putting on an act for my daughter so that she will start. That's what I'm saying. That's what they do. That's what he does. He doesn't say anything. He's so good at what he does. He doesn't say anything. He just uses any opportunities, anything that I might say or do. He will jump on that occasion and then see how he can spin it to his advantage. And with me going for my walks, he never came out and said, "You look suspicious," or "Are you cheating?" or "Are you anything like that?" No, but what he did is just with a few phrases, a few expressions, peppered along the way, here and there and everywhere, as often as he possibly can and as discreetly as he can, just there with me present, shifting the child's perception of what's happening slowly. By saying those things, by putting on those expressions, leading the child, manipulating the child to come to a conclusion based on a very simple action, for her to start doubting, instilling doubt in my child's mind, for a possibility of me having, been unfaithful. And for her to start doubting something that she knows is true within her mind and within her soul, and something that she's seen me do every day for as long as she knows. And he carefully started to implant, lay tracks and seeds to change those memories, so that the day is going to come out and accuse me, my child will refer to those memories and to refer to his expression, to those little remarks, to then go, "Oh, do you see what I'm saying? It's so smart." And just like I left to protect myself, I left to reconstruct myself, I left to heal, I left to gather myself, and he used that opportunity to make my children feel even worse about me. My daughter went, "I can't believe you left us, and my son, and he came back, and you were not there, and..." It's obvious that she's convinced that I'm breaking her father's heart. She went on to say how I left and I never even called. When I did call, I'm the one who texted them. And they took their time answering me back, Christmas and New Year. She went on to say how she didn't even know where I was. Nobody had any clue where I was. And yet nobody called me. The weird thing is, here she is blaming me, looking upset, sounding upset, saying that I haven't been home for months when I've only been away for 1 month. The only time that I have taken away from looking after her and her brother, well, her brother's not here, but her, since she's been born. And now it looks like I am the worst responsible person ever. And yet when a father, on separate occasions, never came home, not due to an argument, not due to tension, not due to anything, just did not come home. It never seemed to bother her. She had a hospital appointment, and her father was supposed to be there. He never showed. He was away and he was supposed to be back on time for her appointment. That at the time he was still in Singapore, and he was supposed to have been back here for us to get the results and everything. He was supposed to be back here with us on time, and he never showed up. He came home 2 days later, acting all happy and saying that he had been all this time he was in a hotel here in town, and he never came to the appointment. She never even, it didn't even seem to affect her. I was the one who was, as usual, absorbing all of this, and it never bothered her. And the one time that I am actually just, this is not a baby anymore, both her and her brother, and I'm just taking some time for myself. And she's willingly, automatically wanting to use this as an excuse or as a way to reinforce within her mind what a bad person I am. She needs to use that to reinforce that idea. And with her father's games, there is just no getting away with it. And then I looked at her, and she's crying, she's upset, she's crying. And I'm confused, and all of those things, they're coming so fast from her. And as I'm trying to say one thing and try to encourage her to see things rationally, it just gets worse. And eventually I just give up, and all I can say is just, I love you and I'm sorry. You just lost. You just don't know what to say anymore. I mean, 1 + 1 = 2. How can you not see that 1 + 1 = 2? And how many different ways can you go and explain the process of adding one product plus one product to get to the end results? And then I'm looking at her, and then I'm thinking, is she really confused? Is she really hurting? Or is this just an act? Is this just an act? I no longer know where the truth is, but I'm left with this feeling like all of them, the three of them, what they expect from me, what they want from me, is to stand still, not move, but just stand there as they do whatever they want with me. Being a good mom, being a whatever they want me, they need from me, is for me to just stand there and then take that over and over and over. As if I would have been here this Christmas, it would have been hunky-dory, while all of them would have played mind games with me, baited me, gaslighting me, making me feel awful, and then ostracize me, and then ignore me. That would have been okay with everybody. That would have been me doing my duty. This is what I am supposed to do. I never knew that was part of being a mother. We are all individuals, and it's all It's damned if I do, damned if I don't. I feel so powerless. So I truly feel like I'm stuck. There's just no winning this. Not against him, and not with him using the kids against me like this. It just breaks my defenses. Anything that I manage to build, any kind of strength that I am able to gather and you know, and try to put around me like a bubble. The minute those kids come and they do things like this, it's just bursted. Just leaves me so vulnerable. I just had to make this quick video and share it